Today we begin work on the car to get ready for the upcoming events. And what better way to begin than an oil change and regular maintenance?
So for today, I'm going to be using a Mobil 1 fully synthetic 5W30. I'm going to be driving the car around before the season starts. So normally I would use this guy, Pennzoil 10W30 conventional oil actually, mainly because it's cheaper. I change the oil once after every event, so if I'm doing like 3 events a month, that's going to be 3 oil changes, so might as well use this guy, it's cheaper. The oil filter I'm using is the Toyota YZZ F1, which works perfectly fine for the 20 valve blacktop. I've also used the YZZ D1, but this is normally for like a 2JZ, but I found it works perfectly fine as well. This guy's cheaper, so I'm going to use him.
So this is the PK20R11 spark plug that comes factory on the blacktop 20 valve. The 11 stands for the 1.1mm gap. But instead today I'll be using the SK20R11. I've been using this before, and it's a iridium plug and supposedly a long life plug which is rated for like 90,000 miles. And yeah, I'd rather go with something more durable. I believe this works fine. Before you install it, make sure you check the gap. These come pre-gapped, but there's nothing wrong with using a gapper and just checking the gap.
So changing your transmission oil is like changing your regular engine oil. You have a drain plug and a fill plug. Drain the old oil out of the drain plug and then seal it up and fill new oil through the fill plug until it's completely full and starts flowing out the fill plug. You can either like fill it through the fill plug or you can fill it through the shifter, but that requires taking out your shifter. So I'm just going to do it this way. And I'm going to be using Pennzoil Synchro Mesh. Now I've heard good stuff about this guy and I might as well try it. Now for the diff oil I'm using this Tomei 80W90 special oil. It came with the LSD, the Tomei 2A LSD that I have in here, and this is like the 3rd can that I've got, and I guess after this time I'm probably just going to use some regular brand one because this is pretty expensive. And by now, the diff should have been broken in, worn in, and we can start using normal oil. Now, before you put the drain plug back in, remember to clean out all the gunk that's on the magnet at the bottom. Continuous drain like this. Then we're done here. Ew.
Now that that's done, we've got Cusco sway bars and a tension rod bar to install in order to reduce body roll. The stock sway bars that I still have aren't gonna cut it. I mean, just look at that roll! But why is body roll such a bad thing? Well, now I'm gonna give you my dumbed down explanation of why body roll is terrible. Basically, when you're cornering, all the grip is in your tires, and as you're going sideways or just regular driving cornering, the side G-forces going in this direction is going to be exerted on your outer tires. Now, if you have body roll, that movement as you roll over that's absorbed by your suspension is going to eat up all that momentum and force that's supposedly meant to be going into your tires. So going like this, compress, you know, you're not exerting as much force on the outer tires. And yeah, more force on those tires means more grip, hence downforce and cornering forces. Actually, in karting, we used to do this trick where we would lean to the outside of a corner so we can exert more pressure on the outer tires so we can get more grip. But yeah. Now another thing to add about body roll is it affects your steering feel. Basically, that split second when you turn the wheel, and if there's body roll, the suspension would just compress, and that would give you a vague feeling of how much grip you have before the tires actually give you feedback. And if you didn't have any body roll, if you just turn a wheel and it stayed planted, then that split second when you turn, you actually get to feel all the grip your tire has, and that just improves both the feeling of cornering and turning the wheel, as well as, I guess, providing you with, confidence to do crazy stuff. Sure, you can get stiffer springs and stiffer shocks, or even set your coilovers to the stiffest setting to reduce body roll. But if your suspension setup is too stiff, your ride will become unstable over bumps.
The car literally flies over the bumps.
So one of the previous owners had actually switched out the bushings for polyurethane bushings, which is great, but out with the old, in with the new. Now we have Cusco sway bars for the rear as well, and instead of these stock bushing mounts, which are like pretty old and really thin, we have these Techno Toy tuning blocks, which not only strengthens the mounting points for these parts of the bushings on the sway bar, but it actually lowers the mounting position, which helps for lowered cars, especially like this one, which is not as low as you'd expect, but is pretty damn low for like stock setups. So these Techno Toy tuning brackets simply just hook onto the mounting points for the sway bars. Now these subframe mounts haven't been touched in like 30 years and they just look terrible inside the engine bay, so I'm gonna roughen it up a bit and then go with it with a little bit of black paint. Alright guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the episode. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like what you watched, and yeah, leave some suggestions in the comments below. stay tuned because we've got more stuff coming up, including bigger brakes, and yeah.